What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to our Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We are here on episode number 14. This one is going to be a little bit of a different series. We're going to be doing the quick manage, which you guys will be seeing here shortly. The couple games that we talk about against the Colorado Rockies is the series we're going to be talking about, but that is not going to be the main focus of the video. We're going to be doing another recap. This one can kind of be a little bit more like a May recap because this is the last series of May. So we're going to highlight some of the players that were performing very, very well in the month of May, as well as talk about some of the prospects. We are also going to be covering some of the minor league talent that is within some other teams and also talk about some of the trades that we might maybe propose. It's up in the air. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more amazing content, because only you can make a difference in today's video, so your support is always greatly appreciated. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into the video. As you will see, the Pittsburgh Pirates starting off 28-21. First game against the Colorado Rockies. The Gregory Polanco is going to go down with an injury. He is only going to be out for a couple games, so just note that he's not really going to be playing in the rest of this Colorado Rockies series. He is going to be going down with an abdominal strain for the first game of the series. So unfortunate for that, and also unfortunate the Pittsburgh Pirates bats could not get things swinging, as we only were able to muster 6 hits in this one and only pushing across 1 run. Unfortunately, Cody Ponce is going to get notched with the loss. Ponce still throwing very well, pitching at a 1.07 whip and an ERA under the 2.5 area. So good out of him, not too bad for that. Now looking at the box score on today's game, you're going to see Brian Hayes and Colin Moran both notching 2 hits, so that is good things out of the defense. Hayes also getting the 1 RBI of the game, so at least he was able to produce. Now looking at the pitching side of things, like we said, Ponce did not really do too bad. He was the pitcher that did let up both runs, but he is the starting pitcher, so he is going to go deeper, and he's bound to let up some runs. He did allow 7 hits in 5 innings, so that's not exactly where we want him to be. Also walked 2 batters, so it really wasn't too bad. It's not like his control was out there. Definitely needs to start kind of working out on the strikeout numbers. 1 strikeout through 5 innings, not something we want to see. We had Michael Feliz, Stamont, and Crick. Stamont was actually pretty solid. He did walk 3 people, and that he's kind of been a little bit wild, but hopefully he can settle down and get the control there, and I think he'll be a solid pitcher for us in the future. Now looking at game number 2, Chad Cole was an absolute fiend on the mound, going 8 2/3 while only allowing 4 hits on 4 walks while striking out 5. Kyle Crick did end up getting the win, as this one was tied up the whole way into the 9th inning. We won it in a walk-off sac fly fashion, but so Kyle Crick was the guy that ended up pitching that 3rd of an inning to get the victory. Things looked very good in Pittsburgh in this one. Also got 8 hits total, and you're going to be seeing here in one moment in the box score that a lot of the production was done by, yet again, Brian Hayes, and this time Brian Reynolds also getting that average up to a 282. So a couple batters that are doing very well. You can kind of see the top 4 batters, top 5 batters, even with John Ryan Murphy. He's been swinging. We're going to get into a lot of these guys and kind of break them down a little more. You'll see Wilmer Defoe, a batting 320, so a solid 320 out of Wilmer Defoe as well. He's been very, very good for us, and it's just really good to see a lot of these young guys coming up and starting to produce a little more in some of the acquisitions that we got in the offseason. Now moving on to the final game of the series, the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to take this one 9-4 on 16 hits, an absolute slugfest here. So we are going to take the series against the Colorado Rockies. Neil Walker notching a home run and 5 RBIs, so he was absolutely out of his mind. Tyler Stevenson was also very good. He is now doing a whip under 1.05 as well, so a lot of our guys not really walking a lot. Taking a look at the box score, we have a couple guys that got 3 hits, and yes, Brian Reynolds was one of them. Neil Real Deal Walker has been an absolute blast in Pittsburgh. His average now going to jump over to 300, so we have 3 players now smashing over 300, with Wilmer Defoe, who has been an absolute blast. He's been really, really fun. The only guy that really hasn't been the greatest for us has been Eric Gonzalez. was, and I don't really know what to do with him because we have people like Cruz in the minor leagues, like Jinhwan Bei. I do believe I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, you guys can correct me down below. Please educate me on some of the names if I'm mispronouncing any of your favorite players' names. I'm always willing to kind of fix things and adjust to how you guys want things to be. So with that being said, guys, put it in the comments below. We are going to start getting into some of the trades and things like that here in a bit. So whenever we get to that point, I want you guys to be putting in the comments below if you guys want to see us trade away some players. If you guys don't feel that some of the players are producing, I want to have some feedback. I want to interact with you guys a little bit and really have a little more fun with the series. Tyler Anderson, taking a look at him, 6 strikeouts, did allow 8 hits on the 3 runs, but he didn't walk anyone, so he was pretty good. The command was there for sure. Chris Stratton did go 2 in the pen. Shreve also 1. He struck out 2 batters, so it was nice to see the lefty Shreve kind of coming out and producing. And again, Neil Walker notching his 12th home run. He has been putting them over, just over the wall. He ranks 18th, or not 18th, he ranks 8th right now in home runs in the entire league. So he's trying to just continue an absolute tear. He's a monster. I don't really know what else to say with him. And on top of that, you have people like Brian Hayes, who's been getting a lot of RBIs. And especially with Neil Walker, we're going to jump right into his stats right about now. And taking a look at these, I mean, his on-base percentage, he's getting on about 400. That's very, very solid. He is striking out a good bit, but I think that's something to kind of look back. He is also now ranked over Garrett Jones in the all-time Pirates home run list, so he's been accomplishing a lot of milestones in his career. He is actually, against right-handed batters, he's actually still growing. He is enhancing his overall stats in the game, so it's really nice to see Neil Walker, the 35-year-old Pittsburgh kid, coming out in his final year potentially for Pittsburgh. I'm going to imagine he's going to retire, but maybe because of his success, he wants to hang around. And if his stats do go up like they are, I see no reason to kind of extend him maybe 1 year if he continues to produce and play at this caliber of a player. I mean, I feel like that'd be stupid to not at least offer the guy 1 more year. But if he wants to retire, I think it'd be at least nice to have him still retire in a Pittsburgh uniform. You guys let me know on that one. I think that one's another toss-up. Another guy that we're going to kind of jump in right now is John Ryan Murphy. Since getting called up from AAA, John Ryan Murphy has put 3 home runs over the wall. I know it's a small sample size, but I think this guy is definitely worth talking about because Jacob Stallings, although he is amazing defensively, if we can have a bat like John Ryan Murphy in the offense, if he can continue this hot streak, which I do think this is just a hot streak. I don't think John Ryan Murphy is a batter really above a 1,000. I mean, he hasn't really proved that he is anything over you can see his career total at a 600 OPS. So he's not really a guy that you can really rely on all the time to be getting on base, but he hasn't really had a whole huge sample size. He hasn't even had 1,000 at-bats in the majors, which I don't really think a player's like broke in to the major league level until they're about at 1,000 at-bats. Like I think that's like where a player really, you can determine their stats. We're going to give a little updates on some of the players that are injured right now. Adam Frazier, who was out for quite some time, pretty much since opening day, is going to be coming back in about 10 days. It says 1 to 2 weeks in your screen right now. We need Frazier back. I think this is a guy that's going to add a whole new depth to our team. But again, this is going to be another middle infielder coming back into the team. With Neil Walker playing as good as he is, it makes things hard in where we're going to be doing with some players. So I think Frazier, I don't know if we're going to send him, but it's definitely a lot in the air. So Frazier, whenever that time comes, we're going to have to make some moves. Now, in hindsight, though, we're talking about Brian Goodwin. 1 to 2 months, broken leg. Hopefully he'll be healed up enough to be traded or DFA'd to the minor leagues. I'm not really interested in Brian Goodwin right now. I think our offense and everything has done very well without him, not to mention that he has just really not been the best player for us overall. So Brian Goodwin, hopefully we can get some value out of him. I don't want to just like send him off. I like Brian Goodwin as a player. I think he's actually a good player, but in this game right now, we just have not produced for him, and maybe a change of scenery is something that he needs. Also, Richard Rodriguez is third in saves right now, so a lot of hype behind him. Hopefully, he can get the ERA down. I know he's had a couple bad games where he spiked and has made things a little bit difficult on his case, but still, nonetheless, he is third in saves with 18, only behind Seth Lugo and Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen with 22 with the Dodgers. So the Dodgers have had their fair share of nail biters, but they're also winning a ton, like MLB The Show loves to make the Dodgers be absolute monsters, as they should be. So getting into all of that, Richard Rodriguez, he's been really solid. It is also worth noting that Tyler Anderson is also second in walks allowed, so the control has been there. And if we are turning into a winning team, I think we might actually offer Anderson some type of contract renewal, maybe like a 1-year deal to just kind of solidify him, give him a little more comfort, because if he's not walking a lot of people, I mean, you can see the people that he's lined up with, a lot of pretty reputable names. Charlie Morton's kind of thrown in there, Uncle Chuck, so former Pittsburgh Pirate. These are people that I love to see, guys that have great command, that are really just putting the ball in play, giving their guys a chance while they're even able to pick up some strikeouts. So good to see out of Tyler Anderson, and hopefully he can continue this. Jacob Stallings has been absolutely lights out behind home plate. We've seen a couple games. If you haven't seen the episodes of Jacob Stallings, he has been pretty solid catcher behind the plate, so he is ranking a 1,000 fielding. The only other player that is really to mention is Yadier Molina and James McCann. Yadier Molina also trying to come back as another Gold Glover. Hasn't won one since 2018. Jacob Stallings trying to lock one down for himself, and he has really put up a good case for this. I really, really hope that Jacob Stallings can continue to perform like this and get a Gold Glove, because I think this is the one Pirate that absolutely deserves a fielding award outside of like Adam Frazier and the guy that we're about to mention right here in Ke'Bryan Hayes. Ke'Bryan Hayes has been an absolute joy to watch. He's had a .970 fielding percentage, a couple rookie mistakes, not going to lie, and that was kind of on my part personally, but he still ranks third in the National League NL third base Gold Glove rank, so hopefully Ke'Bryan Hayes can lock that down for himself in his rookie year. And not all sales are final, but this one we are going to be talking about some of the trades that we are contemplating doing. None of these trades, like I said, went through, or they're not Pittsburgh Pirates. These are just proposals that I am pitching to you, the fans, you, the viewers. Like I said, it's only you that can make a difference to this channel. So the support, vote, comment down below. Let me know which one of these trades that you guys want to see more. We are definitely going to be doing one of these trades. This one here is Tyler Glasnow for Michael Perez, Eric Gonzalez, and JT Brubaker. I think this trade is kind of definitely favoring the Pittsburgh side a lot more, just because it's not really, exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for a left fielder. We're not giving them a left fielder. They're looking for a first baseman. It's not really there, okay? Third baseman, I can contemplate. I can actually speculate and say Eric Gonzalez can be a pretty solid third baseman. We've seen that in real life. Gonzalez is doing pretty well over there. JT Brubaker is a pretty decent pitcher. Not going to lie, I don't really want to give up Brubaker. I mean, he's a guy that I really would like to see in a Pittsburgh uniform still. He's pitching very good in real life. But for Tyler Glasnow, that is something that I'm kind of willing to part with, taking a look at Glasnow's stats. Good note with Glasnow is a lot of his stats are going up. So that is something that's kind of the plus side, and I say that with leisure, because as a potential 27-year-old, his truth hasn't really been in the stats as much as you're going to be taking a look. A 6.79 ERA, not really great there. He's been allowing a lot of walks, a lot of home runs. He's striking out a ton of people, but just really hasn't had the best success so far in a Rays uniform. So I don't know if the change of scenery back to Pittsburgh would maybe reignite the 2019 Glasnow that people seen that he could be. So who knows, but maybe that is something that we could see. Another thing that is notable is his contract. It's $4 million on arbitration. We're going to be seeing a lot of that. We're going to be seeing a lot of players that we're going to be trying to get off of arbitration. It just gives us a little more leisure on the contracts. $4 million. He's got all minor league options. Not that I would really send Glasnow down, but it's something that we can kind of talk about. So the next player that we are going to be talking about is Framber Valdez. Is going to be a player that I'm actually very excited to kind of see how he performs. JT Brubaker, it's going to be the exact same trade on the side of the Pirates as the Glasnow trade was, but this time it is just going to be for Framber Valdez from the Houston Astros. So this one, again, they're not really seeking too much of this. Michael Perez is more of the selling piece on this one. He really hasn't been solid. We're just trying to dump players and kind of scam out a player, if I'm being honest. We're trying to get someone that we can hope to produce. Framber Valdez has been a guy that has actually been pitching very good in the game so far, as we're going to be bringing up some of his stats, but I want to talk about the attributes. You can kind of see he's starting to lower a bit in stamina, which is okay. He already is at an 85, so we can take a bit of a loss there. The Ks per 9 is going up, and that's a huge selling point. Home runs per 9 and the walks per 9 all going up. It's okay that his hits per 9 really isn't going up because that was already stagnant. Taking a look now at those MLB stats, he's averaging nearly a strikeout an inning. The walks are a bit high for my liking, but that's something that we can kind of figure out. An ERA lower than 4. We've seen him hover around this a little bit. Obviously in 2018, you want to see that Framber Valdez. We know he can be. He's a solid player, left-handed pitcher that's going to really give you, a lot of depth. This guy isn't a guy that's going to be throwing a ton of fastballs, high heat. He only averages about 93 miles an hour, but he has nasty off-speed stuff. The curveball changeup combo that he throws is really, really good. A really deceptive changeup that kind of looks like that faster sinker. So he's also a very cheap player that we can maybe buy out his arbitration years early. So that's pretty much going to do it, guys, for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about some of the trades. Hopefully you guys didn't get too confused and I wasn't too mind-boggling for you guys. I do apologize that I haven't been uploading too much lately. Like I said, I do work a real-life job. I'm also a construction worker, so I'm also trying to do that as well. So hopefully you guys can stick with me here a little bit, and we're going to try to keep popping these out. I'm going to be doing a bunch of editing and getting these, trying to be a little more daily. So I appreciate all the love that you guys have been giving to the channel, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.